Revolut was founded in 2015 by Vlad Yatsenko and Nick Storonsky, has its headquarters in London, and has experienced huge growth, reaching 45 million customers in June 2024, gaining profits for 3 years in a row now, with a record profit before tax of $545 million in 2023. And with revenues of over $2.2 billion in 2023, which was a 95% increase from the year before. So Revolut is performing well, but in this video, we'll be looking at whether Revolut is actually a bank, where it has banking licenses around the world, and whether your money is protected if it's held by Revolut. So please do like this video and subscribe to the channel so I can continue to offer more content for you in future. Just a reminder that nothing contained here is financial advice. And let's jump straight in and take a look at Revolut in more detail. At the time of recording this video, according to its website, Revolut is available to users in Australia, Brazil, the European Economic Area, which obviously covers a lot of countries, Japan, New Zealand, Singapore, Switzerland, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Revolut has also recently, in April 2024, announced that it's received a banking license in Mexico after trying to get this since 2021. And also in April, Revolut India announced that it's been authorized to offer certain payments in India. So we've seen the growth of Revolut and it now having a banking license in Mexico, but where else does it hold one? Well, the only other place that Revolut does hold a banking license is in the EEA, or European Economic Area, which means that it's a bank in 30 EEA countries, and this was obtained in Lithuania in 2018. What this means is that Revolut is licensed and regulated by the European Central Bank, or ECB, as a credit institution or bank, and therefore nearly all deposits made by retail and corporate users of Revolut are insured by the deposit and investment insurance, up to a total of €100,000, as you can see here. However, in the UK, Revolut is an electronic money institution, or EMI, not a bank. And Revolut doesn't have a banking license in the UK at the time of recording this video. This means that as an EMI, it's required to safeguard users' funds, with Revolut stating on its website that your money is either in a dedicated client money bank account that they hold with a large global bank, or Revolut invests your funds in low-risk liquid assets held in a dedicated client asset account that they hold with a large global financial institution. As an e-money institution, as part of the safeguarding requirement, which you'll see is quite ironic when we see later in this video how many complaints have been made against Revolut, but this means that if Revolut became insolvent, then customers' claims would be paid out first before anyone else. However, and again as confirmed by Revolut on its website, which is good as it's being transparent and not trying to hide it, because it is more important, but UK Revolut users' money isn't covered by the Financial Services Compensation Scheme, or FSCS, which would happen if it had a banking license, as we saw with the EU. Because Revolut's CEO and co-founder, Nick Storonsky, stated in early July 2024 that he was confident that Revolut would be granted a banking license soon in the UK, after waiting since 2021 when it first applied, stating that it's taking longer for Revolut based on its large size and that it operates in many jurisdictions, with it having to fully adhere to the regulations that are set out by the Prudential Regulation Authority, which is part of the Bank of England. For example, with Revolut having to change its share structure to meet with UK regulations, which the company did then change in fairness, and with the National Crime Agency, or NCA, back in September 2023, flagging a release of funds from Revolut from accounts that were deemed suspicious. And in more recent news on Nick Storonsky, we recently learned that he's planning to sell a part of his multi-billion-dollar stake in Revolut as part of a $500 million share sale. And this is all happening at a time when Revolut confirmed on the 13th of June 2024 that it was moving its headquarters in London to a premises in the centre of Canary Wharf that's 40% larger than its current offices and will be on 4 floors, with its UK customer base apparently hitting 9 million recently. But moving back to Revolut now a bit more generally, what reviews does it actually get from its users? Well, Revolut has generally good reviews on Trustpilot at 4.1 out of 5, based on over 155,000 reviews, which is similar to Monzo at 4.1, lower than Wise at 4.3, but higher than Strike at 3.9, which I did cover in a recent video, as Strike, which is based in the US, has moved into Europe and the UK offering Bitcoin services. And you can find a link to that video here and in the description. But Revolut has significantly higher reviews than some traditional commercial banks, as you can see here with NatWest, for example, at 1.4, Lloyds at 1.7, and Barclays again at 1.4. But this doesn't tell the whole story, because Bloomberg reported on the 20th of July 2024 that complaints against Revolut made to the UK Financial Ombudsman increased by 35% in the second half of 2023 and were higher than any UK bank, with a large increase of customers being scammed and Revolut then not reimbursing them. You can see here the large increase in complaints against Revolut, where complaints against most other banks listed here actually dropped. Bloomberg, in their article, stated that in nearly half of all cases, the Financial Ombudsman ordered Revolut to reimburse customers for their losses. However, Revolut has apparently initially rejected 99% of the complaints. So this would be a concern if you're using Revolut to store any of your funds. And even in the EU, where we saw earlier that Revolut has a banking license, the ECB has identified and has told Revolut to improve its financial crime controls, which are probably reasons why it hasn't received a banking license in the UK yet either, based on what we've just seen. And finally, let's look at Revolut in the United States, because we saw earlier that it does operate in the US, but like the UK, it doesn't have a banking license to do so. It did submit a draft application for one with the FDIC in March 2021, but hasn't since actually submitted a formal application. The head of Revolut in the US, Sid Jojodia, said in early 2024 that it had nearly 1 million customers after just 2 years in the US market. And that is why he stated that obtaining a US banking license isn't on Revolut's immediate roadmap, but is a long-term ambition, as they're currently focused on growing and scaling the business there. But that ends this video looking at Revolut. And as always, I'd love to know what you think in the comments below about it. And if you are interested in more of a tailored approach to your crypto education, and you think you'd benefit from having someone look over your shoulder and guide you on your journey, I do offer one-to-one coaching to those who have the desire and the means to educate themselves further. And there are links in the description where you can message me and book in a free video call to see if we'd be a good fit. And if you found this content interesting, please do like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it really does help. And have a great day.